Hi everybody, my name is Scott Ken. I'm the AP Computer Science teacher at Centennial, and I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself. I'm not going to be able to make it to curriculum night tomorrow night, so I wanted to reach out tonight and give you a little bit of information about the course and myself and what your kids are doing at school. So with that, I'll dive in. I know I'll probably get about 4 or 5 minutes of your time before you get bored, so we'll see what we can do. So as I said, this is AP Computer Science A. It is a great AP class for your kids. It's all about problem solving. While it's a focus on computer science, it really does teach them how to approach problem solving better and to really be have a growth mindset so that they're looking for ways to solve problems and can tackle problems that seem insurmountable when they first see them. So that's a great skill set for them. The direct objectives of the course are to learn Java, which is a computer programming language the College Board has chosen. The concepts that we learn, though, won't just be limited to Java, but will also be applicable to other computer science languages and fields as well. We also are focusing on the methodology of object-oriented programming, which is just a really complicated way of thinking about programming and is sort of an industry standard for students to learn early on. Excuse me. There's also a subset available of this, so they won't be able to learn the entire programming language of Java. It's a huge program. It has a lot of capabilities, but we'll focus on a subset. So if you are a computer programmer or if you know somebody and they see that I'm doing something a little differently than is typical, it's generally because that's part of the subset, and so we're focused in on that. That subset is available on the syllabus and also available online at College Board. So a little bit about the class structure. This is a college level course, and I do try to treat your students that way. I do realize they're in high school and they have other responsibilities that they have to focus on as well as my class, so I do work with them on that, but there is a high level of expectation that they'll be independently motivated and have a good work ethic so that they can come in and tackle these problems, especially early on. I really have to say the independence and strong work ethic are really important concepts. I mean, both in general, but then also specifically for this course, because there is a steep learning curve, and it does take them a while to get on board with what's happening in the class. And if they're not putting in the work ahead of time, then they're going to end up struggling for the rest of the year. So it's really important that we push them to focus in on their work early on. And I really would, if you're worried about that at all, my kids, I sometimes worry about their work ethic. So if that's the case with you, I really would spend the first part of the year making sure that they get their work done. But they'll have a lot of opportunities to do the work and to learn. It's just that if they don't do it early on, it makes it all that more harder as the year progresses. So my methods, the way that I think about teaching, this will be a project-based course. I think the best way to learn how to program is to program. And so your students will be writing a lot of code, and they'll be doing a lot of work. Again, they will be very frustrated. Our students, today are really focused in on getting the right answer the first time, and that just does not happen in computer programming. You've got to really work to solve problems, and we'll work on that. But they have to be willing to put in the work and to focus in on those issues as they see them, and to stick with it, to have that grit to make sure that they solve those problems. There will be a lot of long-term assignments. We don't do a lot of overnight homework. Sometimes we'll see that, but not often. Most of the grades for the class will be made up of long-term assignments that they'll have, a lot of opportunity in class to work on, but there is an expectation that they will be doing that at home as well. So if they come home and they say they don't have any homework, you can ask them about any long-term projects that they have in computer science, and I guarantee you that there is something that they should be working on as the year goes forward. Like I said, this is a steep learning curve, and it's something that I talk to the students about as well. As long as the students are being proactive and they are, trying their best to stay on time and to learn what they have, I'll work with them. I don't feel like there's any obligation to, give a grade and have it stick. If a student is still learning, we want to give them that opportunity to make up that work. That is not to say, though, that deadlines don't count. If we really want them to be growth oriented and to look for it, they have to try their best the first time out and then continue to try. I am completely hard-nosed about letting students who have not done their work turn it in late unless they have spoken to me about it ahead of time. Our students are really engaged in a lot of other extracurricular activities and a lot of really hard courses. They have plans for those. They have schedules. So if a kid has trouble with another assignment, or they're in a play and they need extra time, I'll work with them on it. But they've got to do that proactively. To come in the morning that an assignment's due and say they didn't understand it or didn't have time to do it is unacceptable at this level of coursework. But other than that, as long as they're there and they're working and they're putting in the time, I'll continue to work with them throughout the year to make sure that they get the information that they need. But they have to come to the table. This is not a course where, just doing the work and turning it in on time is going to get them full credit. That will not work. They've got to do the work. And finally, just my contact information for you. My email address is kents@fultonschools.org. I also have all of my assignments posted on Google Classroom. My advice to you is to get your students to give you their login and password to Google Classroom so that you can access that yourself if you feel the need that they're not keeping up the work themselves. Finally, my syllabus can be found at bit.ly, so bit.ly/KentCS syllabus, and that is case sensitive. Also, it is on Google Classroom, so your students can download it too if you'd like to have a separate copy of that. That's really all I have for tonight. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you'd like to meet in person, I'd be glad to meet with you. Just give me a little warning and we'll make it happen. Thank you guys. Have a good night.